Whenever I meet a new coach, the conversation often turns to this one question. How did you become an executive coach? I'd love to hear your story. That's what this video is all about. Get ready. To understand the story of how I became an executive coach, you have to go all the way back to 2008. That was the year that I quit my last corporate job and I decided to buy a coaching franchise. That's right. That's how I entered the world of coaching, by buying a franchise. My wife and I decided that that might be a safer way to enter into the world of small business ownership rather than just hanging out a shingle and saying, Michael's coaching business is now open. So I purchased this business coaching franchise and got started as a business coach. Business coaches focus on working with small business owners and their teams in their local community. That's generally their audience, although some business coaches these days have their own programs that are presented online and they deal with lots of people all over the country, even around the world. My focus was in my local community. So I went out and did a ton of networking and started to meet local business owners and got business as a business coach. I really enjoyed it because I got to help business owners in tangible ways that grew their businesses. I was able to utilize my background in sales and marketing, and I also did team training, which I felt really comfortable doing because I've been a teacher at some times in my past. I really like teaching and training, so I found that training and coaching worked really well together, and I even did some consulting as well because I have a marketing degree. I have lots of experience in marketing, so I did a little bit of marketing consulting. So all of that was blended together in my first several years as a business coach. Now, as the years wore on, I started to understand other aspects of the world of coaching, including executive coaching. I took a webinar online that was presented by an organization called BAEC, and it was co-presented by Andrew Neitlich of the Center for Executive Coaching. Interestingly, around the same time, I had received from my franchisor Andrew's book, Guerrilla Marketing Coaching. I read the book, I attended the webinar with Andrew, and I really liked what I heard, and so I invested in what was called at that time the Coach Master Toolkit, I believe it was. And I really liked that. What I started to learn was more and more that there's this great world of executive coaching out there, and Andrew had material and education that could help me. So then in 2014, I decided to go through the Center for Executive Coaching's program to become a certified executive coach. I started dabbling in executive coaching while still operating as a business coach because I was still within the franchise agreement, which was a 10-year agreement. Remember that I said I started in 2008, and now we're talking about 2014. So I started out doing a little bit of executive coaching, and then in 2016, I became certified as a professional certified coach by the International Coaching Federation. That was the achievement of a significant milestone in my coaching career because I had thought about getting credentialed for years, but I didn't really pursue it. All the while, I just continued to coach, amassed hours, and then I went through the training to become a certified executive coach, and then got the certification from the ICF a few years later. So if you're tracking with me, we're now in 2016. After getting to that level of coaching skill, I decided that I wanted to formally open Bay Area Executive Coach, which was going to be my entree point to the world of executive coaching. So with Bay Area Executive Coach, I started doing more executive coaching more formally while still operating as a business coach and maintaining my franchise. In 2018, I came to a decision point. My franchise was expiring, and I had to decide, did I want to renew it and continue on as a business coach? And I was quite successful. In 2014, I was awarded Coach of the Year by my franchisor, and I had many very happy clients. But I decided that instead of renewing my business coaching franchise, I'd like to go more decidedly in the direction of executive coaching because I found that equally rewarding and engaging. And I saw that more as my future. So I decided not to renew the franchise, and I really poured myself into the world of executive coaching. But still, I had business coaching clients. Even though I no longer was a franchisee, I still had clients that wanted to work with me as an independent coach and consultant, because I had done some consulting as well during my years as a business coach. So I maintained a small business roster, client roster, and started to grow my client roster with executive coaching. It was 2019 when I partnered with Andrew and became a faculty member of the Center for Executive Coaching. And when I say partner, I don't mean in the legal sense. I became a faculty instructor and worked alongside Andrew. And I also started leading in-person seminars for the Center for Executive Coaching. So now I was teaching other people who wanted to become executive coaches following the curriculum. Because you're thinking to yourself, gee, you haven't even been an executive coach that long, and now you're teaching other people to be an executive coach. Well, I was taking people through the curriculum that Andrew had created, which is an excellent curriculum. It's the same one that I went through in 2014. So I felt capable and confident to present this material. I'm more confident today than I was in 2019, but I was capable. And I started doing that and doing more executive coaching work. When it got to the pandemic, everything changed, right? The world of coaching changed, and thankfully for me, for the better. I stopped coaching people in person exclusively. I was not coaching anybody in person when the pandemic hit, and everything flipped to virtual coaching. At first, I was very uncomfortable with virtual coaching because I had grown up as a business coach, meeting people in my local community, either at my office or at their place of work. So this was a very new and different world for me. But what I found was that it increased the opportunity for me to grow my executive coaching business, because now I could coach anyone, anywhere, including in other countries. So my executive coaching business actually expanded as my business coaching business and training business shrunk. And that was actually the transition that I needed. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back now, it was the push that I needed to really go full on into executive coaching in a virtual way. Now I do almost exclusively executive coaching. I have a few business coaching clients that still come back, believe it or not. You forge long-term relationships, and those relationships don't die. And that trust and interest in working with you doesn't die. So I do still do a little bit of business coaching. I would say that it represents maybe about 5 to 10% of my business. And then I continue to work as a member of the Center for Executive Coaching's faculty, running mentor coaching programs, doing in-person training seminars, and also leading online training classes many weeks of the year. So that takes up about 30 to 45% of my business, depending on where we are in various programs throughout the year. And then the rest of my schedule is filled up primarily with executive coaching. I still do some training here and there, less so than I used to do, but now the training is presented virtually for the most part, except when I do an in-person training seminar for the Center for Executive Coaching. So that's the path. I've now renewed my professional coaching credential with the ICF a few times, and I'm on the way to becoming a master certified coach. I've actually logged enough hours of coaching to qualify for the MCC. I do need to go through an additional training program and get some mentoring and record some coaching conversations to submit to the ICF to become an MCC. All of that is planned to happen through this year and next year. And so next year, before I would need to renew my PCC once again in 2025, I will hopefully attain the MCC credential, which is only held by a small percentage of ICF coaches around the world. So my journey continues and my path lengthens as I have found my new career, which is executive coaching. I hope this video just gives you a sense of my journey to get to the place where I am now. Obviously, there's a lot that I've left out because I want to keep the video at 10 minutes or so. But if you have questions about my journey and the decisions that I made along the way, place them in the comments. I will respond to all comments and questions. If you'd like to learn more specifics about the Center for Executive Coaching and how that really created the shift in my career away from business coaching, email me at michael@BAECexecutivecoach.com, visit the centerforexecutivecoaching.com, or my dedicated website with a blog and other resources, along with information about the programs at BayAreaExecutiveCoachTraining.com. You can also schedule time on my calendar there. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope it's helped you and encouraged you on your path, whichever coaching journey you're on. I hope a little bit of my story has inspired you. If it has, please like the video, comment on it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back again next week with a new video. Thank you very much.